and welcome to Motivation Monday. You might be wondering why we're in my kitchen, but it is because today's topic is going to be on binging. I have actually done quite a few videos on this topic of binging, but it's a topic that is really relevant in my life and I know very relevant for a lot of you guys because I get a lot of questions about binging and how to deal with it and everything like that. So I think this is a topic I'm going to keep bringing up on my channel. Let me know if this is something you really like hearing about and everything like that, and I'll be sure to keep making videos on this topic because I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with but don't really talk about. It can be very embarrassing, it can be something that you want to keep private into yourself, but let's try and get it out there. So if you watched my Why I Was Obese video, you would know that I struggle with binging and why I struggle with binge eating. The kitchen is where most of my binge eating takes place, which is why we're in here today. Just thought it would be fitting, really. So I thought I'd start off with my top tips for binging. I have probably repeated these 1,000 times, but I just want to keep saying them because I never know who's going to be watching this. This might be the first video you've watched on my channel and this could really help you. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself to everyone that has watched those videos beforehand, but I hope this kind of helps anybody watching this anyway. My first tip is to assess why you binge. Find out the reason why you go to binge. So for me, if you watched my Why I Was Obese video, you'd know that my trigger was my parents arguing. From a very young age, I saw comfort in food, and that's how I kind of dealt with my emotions. And that's something a lot of people do. Emotional eating is something that just tends to happen. And I think binging can very much be triggered by your emotions because it's a very psychological thing. So it's really good to be able to find out why you binge. Sorry, someone's outside my kitchen. It's awkward. So I found it so helpful. Once I found out why I was binging, I could actually take control, because when you don't know why you binge and you just do it out of control kind of thing, you kind of feel frustrated and you feel like you can never make a change. But now that I know why I binge, then I can actually take a step back and actually see it from the outside, and I know when a binge is coming on. I know situations that can get me to binge. So that is my second tip. Once you know what makes you binge, try and avoid it. Try and avoid those triggers, because those triggers could completely mess up your whole day. So if it is a person that's causing you to binge, get that person out of your life. If it is a situation like your job or the school you're in, get yourself out of that situation. You don't actually need to be in it because your health is so much more important than anything else. So get yourself out of that situation. There are situations that cause me to binge. If I get too stressed, if I don't feel happy, I will binge. And I've recently gotten myself out of a situation that was causing me to binge and actually setting me back. I will let you guys know more about that as time goes on. I see a future. I see a reason not to binge, if that makes sense. Because before I'd be like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna binge because my life is gonna be like this all the time anyway, so why should I try and not binge, if that makes sense. So make those changes to get them out of your life. The third thing is sometimes you can't even change the situation. So how do you deal with these situations? How do you reprogram your mind to stop seeking comfort in food and going to something else? So this is where you have to try little tips and tricks like thinking. Thinking is the best thing you can do. At first it'll be very difficult, but you'll get the hang of it and you'll feel like you have a lot more control. When I first started trying to do this, honestly, it didn't work. I'd be chowing down on a whole cake by myself. But as time has gone on, I will be ready to binge, like with the food in front of me, and I will step back just because I take the time to think about what I'm about to do. I take the time to think about how I'll feel before I binge, how I feel during the binge, and how I will feel after the binge, because my health and my fitness is so important to me. It's basically my whole life, basically, and I have to think about the consequences of me binging. It will set me back from all the progress I've been trying to make. I will just feel absolutely crappy about myself. I'll feel upset. I won't feel good about myself, and it'll completely set me back for like the whole week or the whole day. I just won't feel good about myself at all, and that's something that I just have to take the time to think about, and I really recommend that you guys do too. Also, you've got to distract yourself. Sometimes thinking about it doesn't work, so if you know a binge is about to come on, get out of your house, get out of the place where you binge the most. I know for me, it's the kitchen, so I will make sure I stay away from the kitchen. So I distract myself with things like I might go for a walk, I might go for a run, I might just get myself out of the house just to do something just so I don't feel the need to binge, or I just do something that's productive with my day, that makes me feel good about myself, that makes me feel productive and like I'm getting somewhere rather than just binging. Friends and family has really helped as well, especially in the evenings. Skyping has really helped me because, say, in the evenings is when I really feel like binging the most, because I have time to reflect on my day, and then that's when I start to feel the stress and the pressure, and whatever has been making me upset, I can finally feel upset about it. The good thing is I'm always Skyping with somebody in the evening, so I'm less likely to actually go and binge because I'm distracted by something that makes me happy, basically. The person knows who they are. Also, spending time with my family really helps. Just hanging out with my sister, she's an absolute weirdo and she'll come up with the most random stuff and it just distracts me. And if you don't have that support around you with your friends and your family, online is another great place to find support. I know Tumblr was a really great place for me. Tumblr is a great place for a lot of people. There are communities, like fitness communities. It doesn't even need to be Tumblr anymore. It can be Instagram, Twitter, or even on my app. People can be very open and talk about what's bothering them and stuff like that, and you'll always get replies and people comforting you. Sometimes you might not even have a binging problem, but it's the way that you're going about your diet that can cause you to binge. I've seen so many people do this. I've done it myself, is when you restrict yourself so much and you think you can't have those treats, or you're just not eating enough, you can just go crazy and end up binging. And I want you guys to make sure that you're not. You do not have to eat low calories. What I want you guys to do, if any of you have any trouble with binging and you feel like you need some support, I wish I could support each and every one of you guys, but I can't. So it would be lovely if all of you guys could help each other. Make sure you comment below if you struggle with binging, and find a buddy, find a friend who's going through the same thing in the comments below, and you can speak to each other and help each other out whenever you feel like you're gonna binge. I feel like having some support and having someone that understands can be so beneficial and so useful. Obviously, feel free to email me, feel free to tweet me or anything like that when you feel like you need some support. It's funny because today I was actually inspired to do this binging video because earlier I had a real trigger to binge and I was so ready to binge, and then I thought, no, I'm not gonna let this keep getting me down. I'm gonna rise above this and I'm gonna be a better person today. So yeah, there is light at the end of the tunnel, guys. I have somewhat of control over my binging, and I'll continue to share my tips on how I got that under control, because it literally used to be like every night, every other night kind of situation, and I managed to get it under control to where I am today, and I am really chuffed about that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Let's get started with these questions. How old are you? I am 19 years old. My birthday is on October the 6th. So write it down. When are you coming to Morocco? So I'll be